Yeah. Patanaje. How do you get to know each other?
Tell us your love story, where it began.
I just felt, I think I need to hear him out and tell him to stop.
Wait.
And I remember I talked to one of my aunties.
Yes. Yule auntie alipeana nini yako, picha yako?
Another one now. And I told her, is this guy I have met? He's too good to be true. And she told me this.
Yes. I just want to hear, perhaps, whether from there's so many things, stories you've heard from people and all that. What do you think about marriage in this day and time? How do you think it is different from your parents? How do you think it's different from the 19th century or the 20th century? How is it this time? Just your thoughts on what you think about first century marriage.
Number one, I would say we have technology, which helps us to communicate. When I think about my parents, when I was growing up, that is when there were phone booths. And I remember my parents had a shop somewhere in town, but at the corner there was a phone booth.
Yes.
So my aunties would call from Nairobi, then the owner of the shop would go listen, then they would run and call my mom. And they would come running to the booth and they would communicate. But now we have phones in our hands.
Yes.
I'm able to talk to him, real-time conversation. There is nothing like delay, unlike before. So it has worked to our advantage, but it also has its own disadvantages, whereby you find he's receiving calls from clients at night, which should be now family time. So that really happened during our first year of marriage. There are those who had not known he had gotten married, or the fact had not sunk. So when we go to bed, you hear the phone is ringing, and they would talk, and I'm like, anyway, tunatafuta pesa. But at some point, he became very deliberate to tell them, it's family time. I am home. Can we talk tomorrow?
Yes.
So you really have to know how to balance the technology that has come. Yes, it is helping, but it also has the downside.
Okay. So in it's very interesting, because you're saying when you guys got married, phones, like you were receiving calls even way into the night, and you have to tell yourself, this call that I'm receiving way in the night, we're chasing papers. So I will hold back because it is mandatory he's making. Yet they were coming late into the night, and they became a challenge into marriage. You will tell us how perhaps you guys overcame that kind of that time as you move forward. But it's phones are quite one of the things, technology in terms of phones, because they are with us everywhere we go. They are with us, whether even sometimes some people should go to the bathrooms in their phone for various reasons. Some go so that no one has an access to their phone, but phone is that one thing that you can keep it everywhere, and that was actually part of your challenge, but we'll be coming into that. 21st century feminists. What do you think? What are some of those things that you think that are challenged in this day and that in the 21st century?
I think the first thing in the previous centuries, there was no technology to start with. So people lived in trust, and people lived in a lot of faithfulness. And what is happening with us right now, we have technology, and it's not going anywhere. Actually, we are going to advance it more. So the reality is, as we grow and as we continue living together, even in marriage, and even those who are joining in marriage, technology is garbage in, garbage out. It's what you want to give in, is what you want to get out. You get out. So the truth is, for me, I have decided to be deliberate. I'll do what is right with the technology. Because technology is not me. I'm the one in control. If I'm the control of technology, then I know what to manage. I have seen so many apps being sent to us on our Facebook, app of tracking where your partner is, tracking what is the conversation they are doing, tracking your boss. All those apps are there. But the question is, why do I need them? Why should I create insecurity within me by creating downloading an app which will cause more havoc
to your partner?
Yes.
So let me ask. So let me ask, because you guys now have picked that as one of the things.
Yes.
And she said at some point that even when you guys now got married, you guys partner from mtandao. Okay, not like those dating sites, but you guys, like, your connection was over virtually. And then you guys now get married. You're now gotten married, and there she was wondering, hey, why are you receiving calls past some hours? And it became a challenge in your marriage. Maybe let me ask between the two of you, who love phones more than who is always on the phone like the other?
She can the spot.
Clearly. Do you have a problem, like, in your marriage, or did you, I don't know whether you guys solve it or not, do you have a problem when this guy is always on the phone and all that, and how do you guys solve that issue of the phones in your marriage?
I think for him being a business person, his business is on the phone. That is where he talks with clients and all that. So from my understanding and trying to support his career, because he supports us largely in the family.
Yes.
I respect that. It is work. It needs to be done. So if a client is not reaching him, that is lost business. So it's upon him to balance.
Yes.
There is a time he puts the phone off. I want to talk to you. We are having a date.
Yes.
And that makes me feel treasured. And I feel, in as much as there are many phone calls, he has time for us. And that is what makes me feel he needs to go on with the business.
Oh, okay. So what decisions perhaps did you, or deliberate steps did you take to make sure that phones is not an issue in your marriage?
I think the truth of it is to be open.
Yes.
For me, my phone, she can access it anytime. She knows the passwords as I know hers. Not that I want to go and start snoozing and see what is she doing with the phone, who is she chatting with. Because I will get stressed. Why we fail mostly in these marriages? Because we want to know who are they talking to, what are they talking about. For me, I care less because I believe she trusts me and I trust her. Now, the other issue is, like what she's saying about clients. There are clients from different time zones. I have clients from the US, clients from Australia, clients from different places. So in this case, these people, you must handle them according to the time zones that they are available for you. They cannot call you when they are working, so they can only call you before work or after work. So some would even call at 3 in the night. So how do you manage that? You tell them, can I talk to you at this time? But again, it was not easy because they also understand, and most of them maybe are married or they have families. So they understand that it is not right for you to call somebody after 10. So after 10, I make sure that I don't even look at my phone in terms of phone calls.
So can we say that there's no excuse of phone, regardless of who you are and what you do, there's no excuse. Is that what you're saying? There's no excuse for a phone to interfere with your marriage because it's something that God blessed us with in the 21st century, but that should not be an excuse in your marriage.
That's for me, I would say so.
Awesome. Guys, now, let me ask, Love, I was reading an article today morning. It's an article is written by who I can't call the name really, and you're talking about redefining love in the 21st century, and probably arguing, and the argument here is love in the 21st century it needs to be rethought otherwise compared to the way Kitambo, our folks will walk together holding hands, or just go sit, and for them perhaps they'll go to the shamba together, and that for them was love, and perhaps even you can have stories back then, or stories about how then they saw love to be. But in the 21st century it seems like that is not the way we kind of see love as to be. And for her, she was saying, as a boy she was saying, your wife was saying that as long as that you created this time for me, I knew actually you love me, regardless of you actually being on the phone. So, what can you talk about, or what can you say as do we need to redefine love in the 21st century, or love can never be redefined? Life will just love, whether this century or the next century to come.
Let me say this. By God's grace, we were privileged to get to join even post-marriage couples. And there's one group called CFF, Christian Family Fellowship. And such groups, we have age groups from those guys who are there married in 1970s to us who are married the other year. So this really gave us some shaping. And that also mentorship happens. So I can say this, what has changed is only the perception, but love has not changed.
Love has not changed.
The way your dad and my mom loved each other is the same way you should love each other, because love is a gift from God.
Just wait there.
Yes.
Love has not changed.
Yes.
The perception
has
just
changed.
What has changed.
Yes.
But love hasn't changed. Please go on.
So perception has changed, but also time has changed.
Yes.
So, but the love languages have not changed.
Yes.
And that is why...
Let me ask. Now to love language. So what is your love language?
No, she can tell me because she's the one who knows me. I know hers. So that, because, the truth is, I know my love language. But I don't want it to come from her.
No,
why it to come from her?
Yes. Love language.
Yes. So the love language is, if you understand your lover's love language, you work towards impressing them with that love language that they want. Hers is acts of service.
Where? Act of service.
Acts of service. And that one I didn't know until we met. So she would come, she is expecting me to remove the plates and the cups from the table. And for me, I'm seated there. I'm this Kikuyu man who is seated and I can put my shower. So until one day, she was getting pissed off.
Yes.
I decided to be deliberate, and we did that exercise of the... she's the one who came up with a book.
The personality thing? Or what is it?
Not the personality, but the love languages.
Oh, the love language.
Yes. The 5 love languages. So I had to know what is her love language. And from that time, maybe she can confess. I think you have never fought again.
So anatonga plates kwa meza. He's the one who changes the diapers. Act of service.
I do that perfectly without complaining. So that's basically, if you understand the love language, I said, your love has not changed.
Yes.
The language will not change because of technology. Don't tell me because I have technology, my acts of service, if she has his acts of service, I'm going to convert hers to be maybe another type of love language. So I have to act deliberately, and that is what I have been doing in the past, especially 1.5 years. The first 6 months we were trying to familiarize ourselves. Do you remember we were dating virtually? So now the first time we had together for more than a week was when we got married. So even from the honeymoon time, we are trying to understand what is her weakness, what is her strength. Because when people are dating, they try to fake it until they make it marriage. That is the unfortunate part and the truth.
And those are Kenyans. Fake it until you make it.
Yeah, so she's trying to pretend that she has a strong character in what maybe she is not, so that she can impress me. The same way I will do the same. But when you get into that house, the two of you, you know that this person throws the socks on that corner. They don't know how to press the toothpaste. Those are the realities. So I realized that hers was acts of service. And whenever I would come and help, sometimes she was working in Machakos because she was later transferred from Baringo. So when she came to Machakos, I know that the day she's coming in the house, she's very tired. And because I was this man who was a true African man, I would wait for her to cook. Then I realized whenever she comes, she cooks in the evening. When you are going to bed, she's tired. And you understand what I mean. I'm coding my language. So in that case, I decided now when I know she's coming, I'm going to prepare even a simple meal. She's a picker, so that by the time she comes, oh my, from the... Especially when she finds the meal on the table. Kula na kupumzika. If you know, you know.
This man is an African man with an African needs. What do you think? First, you said your love language is service. Is that true?
Yes.
You just love being served.
I love being helped.
Oh, being helped.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
It's acts of service.
Acts of service. So, what is his love language?
His love language is affirmation.
Hey, my brother. Let me have speak.
And with the 21st century, we have no reason not to have the knowledge because we have the internet, you can Google, there are books you can read. So if you're having an issue or struggling in a particular area, find a book or find resources that can enrich your knowledge.
Okay.
So when we got married, we have a small group of couples in our age.
Yes.
So we normally buy books and we used to go through them and do exercises as couples. And that is where we started learning these things. I have a friend who has gone ahead of me a few years in marriage. So she would tell me the books, the topics and all that. So out of that learning, we started realizing we are enriching our marriage. We also realized the small teething problems we had, it was because of ignorance. So once you read and you realize, so this couple had this issue and this is how they handle it, you stop seeing the elephant in the room.
And I think that is the aim why we're here. I think that's the reason why we're here. Even these guys just sharing out some of their experiences in their marriage. This is exactly the thing we're doing. So now imagine we're not just impacting the small group you guys is doing. Now we're impacting nations on how they can actually survive in the 21st century in marriages. Now, so clearly what we are saying from this point is that love doesn't need to be redefined. Love still remains to be the same love that was there even in our forefathers. Maybe perspectives is what changes in love. And so the question then is going it further. And she was just talking about you guys even you evaluate to having this group of people. To what extent? Because one of the challenges is bigger. Apart from parents interfering with marriages, there's also the other factor of friends interfering with marriage. How have you guys been able to handle friends and in your marriage?
I can start.
Yeah, sure.
What do you want to say?
Start it.
I'll start by saying this.
Kama ulikuwa kuna wakati mabest walikuja ukasema is it either me or your friends?
My wife. How far is too far? That's the question.
Yes.
Because you don't want to lose your friends because you're married.
Yes.
Neither do you want them to feel that you are putting a wall because you're married. But then, once one is married, there is a certain boundary that one has to create.
Yes.
From your parents, from your friends, from those acquaintances that you have had, they must know that you are married to your wife or to your, and the wife to the husband.
Yes.
In that case, you'll be able to respect each other. So there are those places that I'm a fun guy. I used to go to places with guys. Now, I don't have to go to all. But once in a while, I can join them because they're still my friends. But maybe the time they want us to meet is the time that I have my family time. So distinguishing the lanes, knowing how far can I do this and how much can I be able to get engaged. So when I realized at first when we got married, we were wondering, that was a big question we were asking, how do we manage our friends? Because she had 3 ladies who are very close friends of ours. I had my own crazy guys who are very close friends of mine. So we were wondering, how do we integrate this? Remember, she's coming with her personality. I'm coming with my personality. So
and
you don't expect
you know
her personality, and you also know mine. So you don't expect this to change overnight. And the truth of it is, as time goes by, I think we are moving faster because now we are able to acclimatize ourselves to each other's personality. I know what makes her angry, and I know she knows what makes me angry. Now that already defines how far I can do anything with either of my acquaintances, and the same with her. So that understanding of each other's personality, understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses helps you to define how you manage your friends. For us, it has not been a big issue because we still have the friends. We still reach out to them. Obviously, the first year is a year to define yourself. That's why biblically, that is your year to be together. You keep away from ministry and keep away from people. Not because you want to be detached from them, but because you want to understand each other and define each other. And there's a point that says, you asked about love and redefining of the same. I might quote scriptures because there's a scripture that says, do not be conformed to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Renewing of your mind is what now makes you to redefine how the marriage should be done or the love should be exercised. But things are changing. We are having that ladies are more empowered than men, and maybe you come to that discussion.
And you're going there.
So if that is the case, then how do you deal with such cases? So for me, I think for friends, we have to be deliberate and know we are not losing any friend.
Okay.
but you not do everything that is expected of us to be done.
Okay.
Because you also have what you have to do.
Yes, yes.
And get this, now we have combined friends.
Yes.
Her friends are now my friends. My friends are now her friends.
Wow, awesome.
So in that case,
yes,
it is, you must humble yourself as a person to ensure that you are able to fit in the other person's shoe.
So you've said something very interesting there. So bottom line, what you did is for you, because so that you don't lose that kind of friendship.
Yes.
So you had to humble and be able to connect with her friends.
Yes.
So that you don't lose this bond. So that together both of you are able to be friends.
That's
in
true.
other words.
And actually the secret is this. If you show her that you respect her friends, she'll respect yours regardless.
Respect the friends of your husband. Your
vice versa.
And vice versa.
Yes.
Yes. Friendship, did you struggle being, because, I mean, as this, to talk about the first century, the issue of about network and connecting, it's very, very, in fact, they say your network is your network. So sometimes you find you don't want to lose your network for the sake of your marriage or for the sake of other things, because it's through those networks you connect with. And I know this guy. Being a CEO, who's a mashamba too. And I know he has so many networks. Even before that, when where he was working, because I know you actually dropped. Hey, Maze, someone dropping a CEO job. This guy dropped from being a CEO, but now he's CEO of his own. Initially as a CEO employee, now he's an employer as a CEO. And dropping that, and at that point, there are people who he wants to connect to, people calling him, people who connect with him. How did you embrace or adapt in the marriage with those issue of friendship? Because that's one of the biggest challenge most marriages are facing in this day and time.
We say that you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with.
You are the average of the 5. Please repeat it again. There's somebody watching you. Please, repeat it again.
You are the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So if the people you hang around with, they are gossiping or they are in debts, just know that is where you are headed. So for us, we decided, especially when COVID came, we're not going to participate in recession. And I like it when we work together and when we have the same mind.
Yes.
So for him, the people he interacts with are the older people. So he works with people who are older than him.
Yes.
And he's able to tap wisdom. They're able to correct him. They're also able to show him, we did this, we failed, this is the path.
Yes.
So from that wisdom, he walks in it. And when I look at it, I say that is where he's headed. So even in our friendships,
yes,
there is a person who feel this person is weighing you down with negativity, with all that. And the Bible says very well that your friends, you cannot stay in the company of people who are not righteous. You're going to fall back.
Yes.
So it's good to be deliberate in what you're doing, the people you hang around with. There are places we are called and we are like, our faith does not allow this.
Wow.
Or it's not going to work you're going to feel it's like you're struggling and you have the opportunity to say no.
Wow.
This one, I'll give it a pass. This one, I will go.
Okay.
So that deliberate action is what has kept us up to this far, knowing that when we say no, it's not because we hate them or what.
Yes.
But we know where we want to go.
And you get that's the agreement as your family.
Yes.
Whatever man can do, a woman can do it better. 20 marks.
Yes.
You have 20 marks to respond to that easy.
I can get 100 if given. So I'll say this, and as she has said, I share a lot with the elderly people, more or older people than me. Actually, I was trying to analyze my friends and I realized higher. So most of my friends are having children almost my age.
Yes.
But when we are together, you may not know that they are older than me. Why?
Yes.
Because it is said, the wise shall ooze with wisdom. So I can only tap wisdom from the wise. And that wisdom has shown me it is good to empower your woman.
Yes.
And I want guys to hear this.
Please.
It's good for you to empower your woman.
Yes.
Because when you're empowering her, you're not doing it because you want to feel undermined. It's because you want to feel proud.
Wow.
When she is able to do something. Look at the women who are in power right now. How do their husbands feel? Just Kamal, who is the current vice president of the United States of America.
Yes.
Look at her. How is the husband feeling? The husband will never have gone to White House.
Roger, Africans, we want to be...
Let me bring it home.
Okay, fine.
Let me bring it home.
Okay, fine.
Just last month, when Magufuli died, the vice president was a woman. So how does that how does the husband really feel when now he is the first man? They are called the first man.
Yes.
And from this observation, I was able to understand that empowering her is making our family better.
Wow.
Because for me, I can only do too much.
Yes.
And if I do this too much without her being a participant of the same, then it's going to make, when anything happens to me, then the whole world we have created will go down to ashes because she was not empowered to manage it.
Wow.
So what I did first, she was shy. Now she's not. As you can see, she's not shy. So I had to enroll her into a course of personal development.
Personal development. Invest in your woman, bro.
Yeah. So the course, she did through the course. And the funny thing is that when she was in the course, she was made the president of the class. So again,
Madam President.
I was the president of the class. Yet I was not a president of my own class then when I was doing the course.
Yes.
And by that, she became so confident in public speaking, in relating with people. So even when I'm not in the office, I know there's somebody who can handle the office amicably and solve every issue without fearing that she's going to be undermined.
Wow.
So when I empower her, I also get free time to do something else. And also my mind is able to think. The other thing is sharing your vision with her. Remember, she's not a stranger. And I used to be told this by those guys who are ahead of us, and I would not see the point of it earlier, that empower her and share with her every information. You know what we are saying in the current generation is that when you share with her, she's going to be wiser and atakuruka.
But sorry, Kidogo, we've lived in a long time in this day and age.
Yes.
Even our own parents will tell you, as a man, there's some things your wife should never know.
Yes.
As a man, you need to have a bank account somewhere. Even women are told that anyway.
Yes.
But now because I'm talking to you as a man, you're told to put something aside for yourself. As a man, you need to be on top always. The woman in your life is just there to be listened, to be heard? To be seen and not to be heard.
To be heard.
But that's interesting. I mean,
no, the truth of it is, I also know that. And I understand it. But what outweighs the other? The question is, when she knows my bank account, when she knows I don't hide my bank account to her, she will not even be bothered to know how much is in the account. Because after all, she knows she can access it at any time.
So your empowerment of her into your marriage,
yes.
How has it affected your marriage?
It has made us more strong. So that when I don't have money, she knows I don't have money. It's not that I'm trying to pretend. Yes. But if I have been hiding money from her,
yes.
Then I tell her I don't have money, she will not believe it. So the truth is, when I have it. And she can see the account. Sometimes I surprise her, just check her the account. So she'll see it's good in good terms. Then maybe 2 days later I tell her, check her the account. So in that case, she also understands that it is not every time you spend, you can have time to invest. Because if you are trying to hide away from her, how will she empower, how will she trust you that you are going to invest? And you're not giving another chick out there some money to support her. So, but it is a very slight or a very delicate balance to balance to understand she is not there for any bad intention.
But let's admit it.
Yes.
It is hard for a man to think the way you're thinking. I mean, just a reality. Sometimes it's just very hard for a man to say, I want to empower this woman. And as empower, it's for my benefit. Most of the times we think this woman just needs to be there in my marriage. I mean, after all, wanasemanga alikuja kunisaidia. Is my helper.
But how can she help you if she doesn't know what you're doing?
Yeah,
how can she help you if you don't know where you are going? I'll tell you for a fact, sometimes I feel so frustrated with my visions, which are crazy. But she'll come and tell me, babe, I know you can do it.
Yes.
Even when I'm down there, I don't want even to go to the office, I feel like I can collapse on the floor. She'll come and tell you know what?
Yes.
We did it last year. We did it in the previous year. We can do something in the future. This is because she already feeling you have empowered her. She understands where you are going. Just tell me, if I want to be a billionaire, And I tell her, I want to be a billionaire, but I don't want to show her how. If I become a corrupt person, who is going to be caught? It's her.
Yes,
so I have to empower her first and show her the power of where we are going, and then she embraces the vision. When she embraces the vision, I feel so confident. I'm not saying this to flatter. You know, people can on cameras want to speak to be heard, or to speak points to be quoted. I'm not telling you this because so that I can be quoted. I want it to be a fact. I was told this by an elderly couple who are today enjoying their marriage. They are in their 70s, and they have lived together. When we went to see them with her, they're living in a house that looks like a state house, but they're in love, even in those old age. And they told us, if I knew, we would be better than where we are. Wow. Because when you empower her, remember there are those days you can go and you are sick. And I'm praying God not to get sick. When you are sick, what will happen? Will your family die? Will your business die?
No.
So this goes ahead even to the office. I went to the office, introduced her, and they know she's my co-director. She is my wife.
Wow.
Empower her, and everybody else will respect her.
So just one thing I've loved about what you've said, it is wow. Hey, I'm challenged as well. You took her to do a course in personal development. You empowered her in a time whereby men are very scared, men are egocentric, and men are inward looking as opposed to all looking. They're thinking, no, it's me who has to be there. But what you decide to do to bring her to the level where you are. Wow. You know, I had an auntie before, because you just explained. I had an auntie of mine who got married to a Nigerian somewhere. I will not mention so many details, but in those days, around 2000, she was actually masters. No, by master in those 2000, by the way, masters were among those two people. Rather, she's a doctor, and she's married to this guy. She goes there, and basically she's told now you'll be a housewife, kind of a thing. And she was frustrated. She had to leave, and come back. Unfortunately, she had to leave, come back, and all that, and getting really, really frustrated because she's wondering, why am I staying at home? And of course, she was told you have to come home. This man was like, hey, when you come to this home, women don't do anything. Your work ni kuzaa, na kulea, na kupika.
With your PhD.
Kitchen is your place. I think it would be a bit tricky.